Hi guys, this is Sam from SAP Careers and Job Seekers Group. Today we are going to talk about important topic which every technology sector or business sector needs, and that's called data migration. So data migration is a very important concept. It basically entails moving data from a source system to the target system. A source system can be a legacy system. It can be, an external system. It can also be basically data in a flat file or .csv format. So there are lots of data migration tools that are there in the industry, but we are going to talk about generically the process of moving data from one system to the other, right? So the system from where you move is called the source system. The system where you take the data is called target system. However, there are some nuances and some little bit of technology or complexity involved because in the middle of the migration of data, right, which is moving data from source to target, there is a process called ETL, and ETL stands for extract, transform, and load, right? So extract from the source, transform in the middle, and load in the target, right? There's also a process called ELT, which is a relatively new concept from ETL. It's extract, load, and then transform. So let's look at it quickly, how data migration really happens and what are the steps involved. So that's data migration. So let's draw our source system. Okay, and then let's draw our target system. This is our target. Okay, in the middle, there's a process called ETL, and that's extract, transform, and load, right? So the ETL, the other process is ELT, which is extract, load, and then transform. So what does transformation really mean? Let's have a quick look at it, okay? So in the source system, there'll be a bunch of tables. So let's just create two tables. Okay, right? So table one, table two. Now there will be some fields or columns in this table. So the table one, I'm just going to call it as name and address. Okay, and table two, I'm going to call as the department details where you're working. Okay, so name and address of the individual and the department. And the department, I have two columns here. So the first is the department business, and the second is the department location. Okay, so I have two fields here. So I have field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4. So let's name these fields: F1, F2, F3, and I'm going to call this as F4. So we have 4 fields, 2 tables, and 4 fields. Now I need to migrate this data from my source system. Let's call it like a legacy system or an old data from one of those mainframes or servers or desktops. Doesn't really matter from where the source system is, or a flat file, I told you, a .csv file. So what are we going to do? We are going to basically take this data and we'll create what we call an extract structure. So extract structure is a transparent table. That means the virtual table. It's not a real table because we don't want data redundancy. So we basically create a virtual table which essentially parses data. So it acts like a filter and pulls data from two different tables out here. So let's pull data from here and let's pull field F1, which is name, and let's pull F3 here, which is department. So this is called my extract structure. This is created inside the source system. So the extract structure is created inside the source system. I'm going to download this into a folder and I'm going to call this as my download area, right? Or my, so this extract structure, I'm going to download in a download area, right? And mostly this would be a folder, right? So we call it a download area. Let's call it download area. And similarly, I'm going to upload it here and I'm going to call it the folder there or the structure there. It's basically like a folder that you have in your Windows Explorer, but let's call it as upload area. Okay. So we have download area, upload area. So I will create an extract structure because I don't want all the data in. I'll selectively say I want two fields out here. I'm going to download it in the download area, and then I will upload it in the upload area, and this will go into the target system, and you will have the same table sitting here, F1 and F3, which is name and department, right? So I have name and department sitting, and I'm moving data from my source to the target. However, there's an important concept here, and the important concept is in the middle stage, and this is important. This is called the staging area. So just like when you're doing a show, you have a stage. It's the backside where you go and change your costumes. So the person does not change, but he might be wearing a dancing costume and he might come into a cultural dress, right? So similarly, we have a staging area right in the middle, and the staging area concept is very important because we do two things here. So number one, we will transform the data. And number two, we will also do conversion if required. So now I have this concept of source system, extract structure. I also have my download area. I have my staging area. I have my upload area, and I have my table which I created, my extract structure, in my target system. So the data will move from here to the staging area, and then once staging is done, then it will come down to the upload area, which is in the target system, and then it will upload the data. So let's look at what transformation is. So let's say the name of the person is n.b. Now the n.b maybe is not acceptable form of data in my target system. So now it's a valid data, so I need to change the data just in terms of a format, in terms of characteristics or properties. I'll not change the meaning of the data. The actual data doesn't change, but I'll change the format of the data, or the properties or the characteristics of the data. So let's call NB as Nancy Bravo. I'm just taking a name just for the heck of it. Nancy Bravo. So now I have the full form of NB as Nancy Bravo, and I'll also have my department. Let's say the department is called SLS, right? So the SLS, both data come from here. So NB comes from here, and then SLS comes from here. So SLS stand for sales. So this format of changing of data without its meaning, and it could be 1st January 2024, and I want to change it to 01/01/2024, and then I'll format it that month, DD, Y. So that's an important concept. Now, who tells you to do this conversion? So very important to know that these two conversions are done by something called business rules. Oh, sorry, the transformations are done. So we have not converted the data. However, if I want to change NB to TB, right, and I want to change SLS to PRS, right? So in this case, both the data, not just the format, the meaning has not, from a business perspective, not changed, but the data itself is converted. That means it is totally changed. It's not staying as N and B, not as SLS as sales. So sales has become PRS, and that means I'm moving data from sales, and PRS could be procurement, right? And then NB, I'm changing to TB. That means the position has moved from NB to TB, and this could be Tom, which is a different person, and sales has moved to procurement, PRS. So this is again a business rule. Right? So this needs a script or a program, a conversion program. This does not need. You can transform using tools like data services, or you can basically use even a simple function like Control F and transform the data type if you're in a flat file, right? But this one, and there are lots of conversion tools. So we have tools from IBM, from Microsoft, from SAP, and so on and so forth. Excuse me, guys. So in the conversion program, you have to write a script, which could be a SQL script, or it could be a conversion program, which actually changes the data itself, and the meaning of data can also change depending on what the business rules is. So very important concept, guys. The business rules are given by business to you. You do not presume the business rules. You will either transform or convert in the staging area, and then you will upload the data into the upload area in the target system. Here, the business will go and validate the data, right, which is called DQ, data quality check. They can also do a DQ here and check the data quality, and then finally, you will upload it into the target system. So once the data in the target system is there, it's nice and clean. And however, the staging area in the second case, which is extract, transform, and load, was the first one. The second one is extract, load, and transform, could also sit in on the source, from the source, not from the source, from the target side. That means the staging area can also sit into the target system, and which will be extract, load, and transform, right? So there you go, guys. That's a simple concept of data migration. Data migration is extremely important. You have to know data migration. And in today's world, data is known as gold. So because we do a lot of analytics, which is called business intelligence, and it all comes from the data, right? There's data which is blockchain data. There's data from legacy system. There's data in which we have to move from legacy to the cloud. We also have to do a blockchain sometimes because we do not want anybody to change the data. So there's a version control sitting on top of it. So guys, hopefully you understand the concept of data migration from the source system to the target system. And we will look at more concepts and more technology areas and business areas. So some of these areas will be techno-functional, some of them will be business, and some of them will be technical, right? So thank you guys for watching. And this is Sam Mall for SAP Job Seekers and Careers Group. Now, what will happen is, if you want to continue experiencing and learning with me, please like and subscribe, right? And share this knowledge because knowledge is to be disseminated to all those who need it, right? So I look forward to your support and sharing of this knowledge and taking up more topics in the future. Thank you guys. Samuel signing off.